Back row ministry, the world premiere, Mr. Rocky coming live and direct from the Kia Optima Studios on a Monday off. Yeah, Monday's my day off, so get to ride around, go shopping, wash my car, you know, the typical usual stuff on Monday. But I wanted to talk about Vontae Davis, I apologize, here today in As the Script Turns. Vontae Davis walks away from his team at halftime, the Buffalo Bills, who have decided to tank the season, if no one knows. Remember that last year, Buffalo gets to the playoffs last year in the snowball game. Became a playoff team with Tyrod. This year decides they don't want to play Tyrod Taylor to come back. Pretty much setting up a tanking scenario, and pretty much they're planning on tanking the season. So Vontae Davis decides at halftime to quit. Vontae decides that he does not want to be a part of this, and he decides to quit. And Vontae, I think, left $2 million on the table, something like that, or for the game. He left money on the table. And I want to take my hats off to Vontae Davis for being man enough to walk away from the game. Like I say, if that's the script, we don't know. If it's not part of the script, I want to take my hats off for him being man enough to do it, because there's only so much bullshit a person can take before your conscience weighs in on what you're doing. Your conscience weighs in. And it's the one thing that, lose games and you're competitive, but it's another thing just to go to work every day and you got a lot of work to accomplish, and the boss says, well, let all that slide because we're trying to let the business fail so we can file for bankruptcy, so you really don't have to do that. Don't even try. We're going to lose anyway. And the reality is, if you go to work where it really doesn't matter how hard you play in the season, that you're not going to win a title, when does your consciousness kick in and say, well, I don't want to do this? We've seen other guys who had lucrative contracts walk away from the game. The young boy played for Detroit, big time receiver. He retired at a young age. He made the decision he did not want to be a part of a rigged and scripted league. And some of these guys have the heart to put their foot down and say, you know what, I really don't want to do this. The sad piece is they can't play football ever again. Once they retire, that's pretty much it, unless they come back and play for the same team. It's pretty much the reason why Barry Sanders walked away. A lot of people thought Barry was too, but why would Barry want to be a part of something that's not real? It doesn't matter how hard you run, Barry. Yeah, you first of all, I got to play for Detroit for the rest of your career almost, and you'll probably never win a title. You'll never be a champion. And that's pretty much been chosen for you. Then you got some guys like Blunt, Letharius Blunt. Blunt, he goes from team to team winning titles. So, the whole thing of realizing that I'm in a bunch of bullshit, I'm in a staged and scripted league where I'm not going to win anything, but I'm putting my body on the line week in and week out, becomes too much for people who have a conscience, people who know right and wrong. And like I say, there are people out there in Buffalo who spent their hard-earned money on tickets this year just to get taken advantage of by a league that really doesn't give a fuck about them anyway. My thing, I always wish that the NFL, NBA, professional baseball, all the sports would just be honest. One reason why I like wrestling, it's honest. They tell you that it's not real as far as the outcomes. Now, will I get in the ring and do what any of these people do? No. Even on the football field, you can really mess yourself up if you're not doing things and executing things right. But, even in wrestling, you get the unfair treatment of one wrestler getting treated better than everybody else, where every 5 and 10 minutes, this guy's getting the big matches, the big money, he's the champion. People might not even like the person. And that goes on in football. You shove Brady down a person's throat. Or right now, we see on ESPN, they're already trying to shove Alabama down college football fans' votes again, as though there are no other football teams. Nobody wants to be a part of bullshit like that. Nobody wants what you just saying, where you're going to like Alabama because we say you like Alabama. And if ESPN is going to host the college football championship, then Alabama's got to be there. And that's pretty much what ESPN is doing. Every fucking year, they're putting Alabama in there because it's on that network. And you got to take that game away from ESPN in order to get some more teams in the championship, because it's not going to be fair. Right now, they're talking about Georgia and Alabama, and week 3 of the damn college football season. Scripted, already put together finishes. The shit is fucking boring. So you ask yourself, is this just another ploy for the XFL to make their move? Now you got Vontae Davis stepping away out of the game, quitting at halftime. 10 out of 3, he gonna come out and say why he quit it. Could this expose some things in the NFL where more of the scripting for all us, we already know the shit's scripted, but could this be the thing that expose more and more is going on? Will the XFL be scripted? Hell yeah, it's gonna be scripted. All these sports have to be scripted in order to control the money. But could this expose more and bring more light on this XFL's move, this XFL big move? Remember how Colin Kaepernick ain't playing in a minute, 2 more years. He might not be in the best position to play, but he'll be marketable as the face of the XFL. So that's something else to look out for, another thing to throw out there. But, hats off to Vontae Davis for stepping away from the bullshit. I mean, at some point, the money is good, but at some point, when doesn't it matter? When you got to say, you know what, I'm busting my ass, and I can at least, go deep in the playoffs from time to time. You don't even get that, because you got a bunch of guys saying who's gonna do what. And 10 out of 3, they already did figure. This season is already figured out, y'all. We're the ones who were guessing to see who's gonna be in the title game, but they already got it figured out. They already know who's gonna be who. So it's not fair to those guys who. They signed, I can't really feel sorry for Vontae, because he knew this had been going on for a long period of time. He signed the contract. He made the agreement to be a part of it. But, now, it weighed on him that, I don't want to be a part of this shit. I don't want to be a part of, I come out here just to lose, go home, get paid, and, I'm paid, but I got to be known as a loser. And talked about like a dog on ESPN when my team and my owner and my management and my GM and owner are doing this on purpose, making me look like a fool. So he was man enough to walk away, and I have to applaud him for that. Back row ministry, and more brothers need to get going ahead. If you're not happy with what's going on with it, walk the fuck away. They can't have a league without you. You out of power, but our problem is we so controlled by money that we can't walk away from things. We let the money kind of move us around, and when money moves you around, you're gonna be a slave forever. The person that's not a slave is the person that can get away from the thing that controls them. So walk away from that control. Gain your self-control by saying no. Thank you, but no thank you. Mr. Marky, peace and hair grease. Y'all have a good Monday.